So what did you do this weekend? Do you feel as good as I do?
We both have hangovers, Coop.
Hangover is a
Understatement?
pretty major understatement.
My lady left, so you know what I do when the lady leaves.
Oh, no, I know.
Get hammered for a couple days. But my body's telling me to stop, so I'm just having a hard day of seltzer.
I've been trying to be a good boy since Friday because I went a little too hard on Friday.
Yeah, you were telling me about that, bud. Oh, so first off, there's no video this episode because we're out of time.
And nobody wants to see us in the condition that we're in right now.
I'm laying on the floor. Coop is barely sitting in a chair.
I'm barely conscious.
But for good reason. You're going to become never mind, can't talk about it. And I got married.
That part I'm willing to talk about.
So you got offered a job. Tell us about it.
It was a job offer.
Yeah. Tell us about your job offer. First off, I got married. Thank y'all for all the comments and messages and texts.
You were going to talk about it on the show? I didn't know if you were going to talk about it on the show or not.
Well, everyone knows they yelled at me about it for 20 minutes on RPR. And yeah, I got a shit ton of messages, so thanks, everybody. Yes, it happened. I'm a married man, so sorry, ladies. You can still send me nudes like you do. I just can't reply anymore.
Well, yeah, that's not cheating.
Yeah. You could read the menu, you just can't order anything. That's what they say, right?
It's window shopping.
Yeah, except no one
you can
sends
window
me.
shop.
The only nudes I get are from dudes.
A dog running out to the end of his leash, and then once you get to the end of that leash, you stop.
Yeah, like that. The old ball and chain, as they say. You know what's cool, though, is ask me if I want to do something.
Do you want to do something?
Yeah, let me talk to the wife.
Ooh.
Boom. Free.
God damn. Get out of jail free card.
Love it. Yeah, let me talk to the
Get out
wife.
of jail free card.
It's fucking awesome. I love saying it, too.
Hey, double-edged sword, though. Sometimes she'll say no.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, you don't really have to talk to the wife, though, do you? Oh, you do, if you want to be a good husband.
Well, yeah.
Fuck, I didn't think about this.
Dude, that's shit that you should have... It's okay. It's okay. You can still lie about it.
No. I like when she tells me no, it's hot. Can I go out with the boys? No. Okay, well, what are you going to do? Something else? Okay. Will you wear that one piece? Yes. Okay.
All right, that's fair trade.
Boys. Yeah, fuck the boys, dude. What about you? So let's hear about your...
Well, first of all, welcome to the Iconoblast podcast. This is the show that takes a look behind the public facades of famous icons that show you why you can never take anything at face value. My name is Matt Cooper, and laying on the floor next to me is Joel.
A married man.
Recently married Joel Benner.
Woo!
Iconoblast. We put the past on blast. Hit them with the truth, with things you never knew. Nobody is safe, no thing to place. Got Joel and Coop with history in your face. Iconoblast.
Off the market, ladies.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, baby, for saying yes. She didn't run away either.
I mean, where was she gonna?
She has a long way to run.
Yeah, that's a long run to make. I think she made the right decision. I'm not gonna run 8,000 miles.
Now, way more importantly, are you gonna make the right decision and take this job?
So apparently, from what has been explained to me, I went on a little bit of a bender on Friday night. Mm-hmm. And I got a job offer as what some people would call a gigolo. A gigolo is a male prostitute.
But it's for the older ladies, right?
Specifically for the older ladies.
I love this.
I guess my reputation has preceded me, and I ended up meeting somebody who works in a job where some people may call it a pimp. And I got a job offer on Friday night to take older women out on dates and treat them nice. And
you get paid.
You get paid from what was...
But not for sex, just for a nice dinner.
No, it is just to take them out and treat them well and show them a good time. That's something that I would naturally do. If the sex happens, the sex happens. I haven't accepted the job yet.
I think you should accept the job. This would be great content for the show.
I'm heavily considering it, considering...
We could do a new show on. This would be the catapult to start a Patreon where we do our history show, and then on Patreon it's the Gigolo show. Coop Bigelow, male gigolo, episode 1. You know who'd be great at that job? Clayton.
Oh God, he would be the best.
Yeah. If you take the job and you see that it's fruitful, we get him a job doing it.
I would take the job, and then I would take a portion of my paycheck, and I would give that to him to coach me.
There you go. Oh yeah, you could be his agent, get 15%.
Well, he would be my coach. Teach me how to do it properly. I give him a cut of the profit.
He gets 30%.
And then he gets into the business, and then he starts making 10 times more money than I do, and then I continue following his examples until I start making the same amount of money he does.
Dude, I would follow through with it. It's not going to happen. This is like crazy movie star fantasy bullshit. He's some sort of scam, or he wants to fuck you, or there's something else going on. But I think you should pursue it just to find out what it is. Maybe it's a cop. Maybe you end up in jail. That's all great content.
Well, one thing that I learned from Friday night is a big part of life is going on adventures. And you don't always have to remember those adventures. But after the fact, you'll learn some very, very powerful lessons about yourself.
Do it, Coop.
Because
Do it for the show.
I remember so little of Friday night that it scares me.
Well, that's weird because part of to learn from your adventures, you have to remember it. So you have to blacking out once in a while, once a year. That's okay, but you got to learn from your adventures. You got to be not blackout.
Yeah. Well, luckily I had a couple people recounting the night to me.
But that's the same
to
as
explain the way that it went.
Listening to a podcast about something.
But Friday night was somewhat of a special occasion. I was letting my hair down and just letting loose and trying to have some fun. And part of that is apparently not remembering the vast majority of the night.
I
was with good company.
Were you sore at any parts of your body the next day?
Strange thing. All right. It's funny that you asked that. I had bruises. I had bruises on my thighs just slightly above my knees. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Somebody was grabbing your legs?
No. It was like I was at some point in the night. I must have been sitting on like a railing or a banister,
or you fell over, or you ran into a railing.
I would have had to run into it real hard. Like it was the type of bruises where it's pressure on your legs for a long amount of time.
Like if somebody was grabbing your knees to fuck with you to make you laugh
No, backside of the legs, just slightly above the knees. If it was any higher than that, I would be concerned about what I did that night. But it was low enough where I'm like, okay, that's nothing to be concerned
Bruises
about.
on the back of your thighs?
Just slightly above my knees, in a line, straight line.
So you were sitting, maybe you were on a swing. A children's swing at a park.
That's what I was thinking, is I must have been sitting on something.
And you were drunk enough where even though it hurt, you fucking did it anyway.
Yeah, there was, apparently there was a little bit of everything on that night, because I do not recall it, and that's a little scary. But speaking of scary things, we got a scary topic for the show tonight.
Last question.
Okay.
Was there a condom on your dick when you woke up?
No, there never is.
Yeah.
Joel, you know me.
Well, well, duh. I'm not saying you were sober enough to put a condom on. You wouldn't put one on either way. Someone else might have fucked you and made you put a condom on.
No, see, I'd be more afraid if there was a condom in my ass.
True. Or what if there was just a condom in the trash?
Then good. That's where they belong.
But that would mean something happened you don't remember.
Yeah, I got rid of the fucking condom because I'm not a fucking pussy.
And what if there's beard hair in the sink and a condom in the trash?
All right, that's pretty much, that's how my apartment always is, though.
Someone else's.
Yeah, okay. Is it red hair, blonde hair, brown hair? If it's brown hair, I'm not concerned. If it's red or blonde, then I had a guess that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Because you don't remember, right? So it could have been anything. Was it black hair? Because it could have been LRL.
Ooh, no, he's enough of a gentleman. He would have stayed until the morning and made me breakfast.
True.
So in 1817, the Bell family of Robertson County, Tennessee, were terrorized by an unknown entity that allegedly possessed supernatural abilities.
Oh.
The being was able to become invisible, shapeshift, move physical objects, and travel great distances with superhuman speed.
Really?
Allegedly. Some believed it to be a poltergeist, while others claimed it was the result of a curse placed on the family. And today, the events are known as the Bell Witch Haunting.
Okay.
The haunting began when John Bell, the father of the family, spotted a strange creature resembling a large, ghostly dog on the property. And a lot of the stuff actually reminds me a lot of, do you know Skinwalker Ranch?
No.
So
The Hound of the Baskervilles?
Not quite the same as the Beast of Givaudan. It's a little bit closer to Skinwalker Ranch, which Skinwalker Ranch was a ranch.
That sounds like a place where they do porn.
They should. Well, it's either in Nevada or Arizona, so I'm assuming they probably do. It might be in New Mexico, actually. Jake the Desert Hippie can fill us in on that.
The Skinwalker's like a daywalker, except they have no hair.
No, it's a Native American folklore where it's a shape-shifting, like, werewolf trickster. It's a
trickster.
A little bit of everything.
Okay.
So John did what any good American would do when he spotted a large ghostly dog. He tried shooting it. The bullet passed through the dog without harming it, and the creature disappeared into the bushes.
He was drunk.
Oh, dude, you're talking about an American guy in 1817 in Tennessee. Yes, of course he was drunk. I mean, anybody between the years of, I'd say, roughly 1492 and 2022 in America, probably drunk.
Yep.
Hearing the gunshots, John's son Drew went to see what his father was shooting at. As John told his son about the strange dog, a gigantic bird perched on a nearby fence post and began watching the duo. John attempted to introduce the massive winged visitors to some good old-fashioned American hospitality, but the bird flew off before he could fire his rifle.
Was it like old school? What was the rifle type back then?
In 1817, that most likely would have been some
Muzzle
sort
loaded?
of... Yeah, it would have been it would have been muzzle loader. Not a matchlock, probably a flintlock.
Flintlock, yeah.
Somebody is going to correct us on that, so I'll defer to the
25 long
listeners.
slide with flintlock capabilities.
Next up, Dean, a slave owned by the Bell family, also began to see and experience strange things on the property. On multiple occasions, the man reported being followed by a large black dog similar to the one spotted by John Bell earlier. The beast never did anything threatening. It would simply trail behind Dean as he walked to visit his wife in the evenings.
Is this the same? Wait, maybe not. The black dog? Like the movie? It's the fucking spirit that the truckers see when they've been riding too long.
Dude, it might be. Randy Travis doesn't show up in this episode anymore, though.
I think Meatloaf sang a song about this shit, dude.
Whenever Dean would attempt to confront the animal, it would quickly disappear into the foliage. So it wasn't like running him off the road.
Well, they didn't have fucking trucks yet.
Maybe it was the original black dog.
Yeah, this is the origin story of the black dog, or the black dog's son, or grandpa.
It's
grandma.
It's the
a witch.
basis. It's the basis of the Led Zeppelin song.
It's the mom of the black dog.
Well, if it's supernatural, it's not like it has a lifespan. It'd probably be the same black dog.
Well, no, because but this is a witch, right?
Allegedly.
So it's
yes.
a mom, and that witch might have fucked, and would make a dog.
Oh, you know what? Once you hear the name of the witch, you're going to know that it fucks. The paranormal activity began moving closer to the Bell household as time progressed. Daughter Betsy began seeing a ghostly little girl in a green dress playing around a nearby oak tree. Whenever she would try to approach the apparition, the girl would quickly disappear. Soon, the family began experiencing paranormal events inside their very own home. At first, they would hear knocks at their front door late at night. When they would check to see if they had a visitor, nobody would be there.
Ooh.
The knocking at the door later stopped and was replaced by banging sounds that seemed to come from inside the walls. No cause for the noises was ever found.
That's spooky.
It's very spooky. I hear that every single night, but that's just because I have a shitty apartment. As the haunting escalated, the Bells began to be terrorized by invisible creatures. Unseen teeth would gnaw at the wooden frames of their beds.
The Bells?
Yeah, the Bell family.
Okay, sorry. I thought that was a reference to For Whom the Bells Tolls.
It very well may be. It may be, but right now, in terms of when I wrote the episode, I was just referring to the Bell family.
Okay, so the Bell Witch, that's why it's called the Bell Witch, because it was tormenting the Bell family. I get it now.
Yeah. Unseen teeth would gnaw at the wooden frames of their beds, and invisible dogs would growl and snarl at them from the darkness. The sounds of chains being dragged across the floor would awake them at night, and ghostly hands would pull the blankets from their beds as they slept. And then the attacks began.
What the hell?
So hearing a ghostly apparition chewing on the edge of your bed at night, that sounds fucking terrifying.
Yeah, what the fuck? And what's the family size?
The family size, from what I could tell, the details are pretty foggy at best. So from what I could tell, it's a family of probably about 5 people.
Okay, so mama, dada, grandma, and a bunch of kids?
So it'd be mom and dad, and then probably 3 to 4 kids.
Okay.
Maybe 5 kids, considering the time frame.
Because back in the day, we used to fuck.
Oh, they had to. Back in the day, you had to have as many children as possible because you didn't know how many children were going to live to adulthood.
To help with the farm.
And you needed them for labor.
And food.
If times got really bad, then you would need them for food also.
Dude, my first instinct is like, holy shit, they must have been eating like mushrooms off the land to survive, and we're just all accidentally on drugs.
Dude, how many of those like old paranormal stories
were accidentally on drugs,
right?
Yeah.
Even ergotism. Like we talked about that with the Salem witch trials, where you can accidentally get fucked up. You can actually accidentally get fucked up on psychedelics, but you don't know what psychedelics are. Of course, that's going to be like some sort of religious or paranormal experience.
Yeah, you have zero knowledge that there's a plant that can fuck you up. So when you were tripping, there's no way you wouldn't believe it was real.
No, not at all. That's going to be. You have no experience with that. Of course, you're going to think that it's real.
Yeah. That's fucked. I mean, that's also kind of awesome. It's the good old days. That didn't end till the 90s. And then the fucking internet came out and ruined everything.
Oh, the internet ruined a lot of things. Are you adjusting your sleeping position? So as the haunting escalated, the Bells began to be terrorized by invisible creatures. Some of the other things that they would experience is, well, they had the knocking sound that came from inside the walls. They would hear dogs growling and barking and fighting with no known source. They would hear chains being dragged across the floor, and then they would also have the blankets ripped off their beds at night. But the ghost played favorites. The ghost, witch, poltergeist, whatever you want to call it, apparently played favorites because All right, I want to get your input on what you think the real story is from the information that I'm about to give you.
Okay. I have a question.
Yes?
Am I permitted to ask?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Where are they?
They're in Tennessee.
Oh, they're American dudes? Mm-hmm. Wow. In my mind, this was like in a forest in Sweden for some reason.
It seems like that's where it would come from, right?
Yeah.
Because even while I was doing the research for the
Is
show,
the black dog.
even while I was doing the research for the show, I was like, I kept going back thinking, oh, this has to be Germany. This has to be Sweden. This has to be Denmark. This has to be somewhere in Europe. No, this is right here in America. So you know it's true.
So you know it's real, yeah. Are they in a cabin in the woods? Like, where are they? So they're in Tennessee, but are they in Nashville?
So this is going to be like very, very rural Tennessee. This is back in the early 1800s. So
they're farmland, tree hills.
yeah, they're pretty much out in the middle of nowhere
They're
with
in the
nothing
sticks.
but woods around them, because at that time there's like nothing but forests in that area.
Yeah.
So the entity seemed to play favorites when it came to torturing the Bell family. Their daughter Betsy always seemed to get the worst of it, and along with having the blankets repeatedly ripped from her bed, she would often awake with painful scratches on her bodies. Even while awake, Betsy would be pinched, slapped, and stuck with sewing needles.
The fuck?
So remember who the
Even while awake?
remember who the witch is focusing on, and take note of who the witch is treating well, because I kind of have a theory about this. If you can help me work through it.
Yeah, but I think I'm already following you.
It was around this time that the family began to hear the disembodied voice of the being that was terrorizing them. It claimed to be the spirit of a long-dead witch named Old Kate Batts, and continued to answer to the name of Kate for the remainder of their haunting.
It would answer?
Yeah, it preferred the name. It preferred the name Kate.
It's like, and they're like, who are you? And then it's like, well, call me Kate. Like, what?
Well, she explained that she was the spirit of the Old Kate Batts witch.
Okay.
At some point.
So it's the spirit of a witch.
Yeah, allegedly. Old Kate explained that she didn't approve of Betsy getting engaged to a local man named Joshua Gardner, and she intended on making their lives miserable until the engagement was broken off. The witch warned that if Betsy didn't end her relationship with Joshua, she would kill John Bell, her father.
Oh, shit.
Betsy refused, and her relationship with Joshua continued. So John's wife, Lucy, on the other hand, seemed to have made friends with the witch. Not only was she spared the pinches, slaps, and scratches the rest of the family was experiencing, the entity would bring her gifts of fresh fruit. Lucy even reported that the witch would sing songs to her when she was alone. She would sing her hymns, like Bible hymns, while she was alone.
See, I thought this was going to be creepy father fucking with his daughter. Now it's creepy mom.
I don't know if I should get into the theory that I have right now or wait until the end of the episode, because I think the end of the story kind of confirms my theories. You know what? I'm just going to get into
it.
Lucy. Okay.
Wait. Unless you can't tell a theory, you can't, because you've done all the research, so it's not fair.
Okay. I'll get to the end of the episode, and then I'll get into.
As a listener, we're all experiencing this for the first time, so we're developing our theories right now.
Okay. Before I get into that, though, I should talk about something else that's very spooky. Ghost bed. Obviously, we love Ghost Bed because not only have they been a loyal sponsor of the Drinkin' Bros for over 69 months, it's got to be like...
That's creepy.
Yeah, why did that light just turn on?
Because we're talking about the Bell Witch. Dude.
Where did that light even... So for the listeners at home, light just turned on in the room that we're recording in.
The one fucking time we don't do video.
The one fucking time.
That was weird.
That was weird as fuck. I don't believe in the paranormal, though.
Me neither. That must have just been a power surge that powered that for no reason.
Yeah, why the fuck did that light turn on?
And you can hear it humming.
Yeah.
Anyway,
every mattress has a 20-year warranty, and you can try it for 101 nights, which is more time than you need to realize that these are the best mattresses ever made. If for some reason during that time you decide you don't want to sleep like a baby every single fucking night, you can return the mattress with no hard feelings. One of our favorite things about Ghost Bed is that each mattress has cooling technology in it, so if you live in the South like we do, or if you have a lot of hot bodies in your bed, these things are a lifesaver. Ghost Bed also offers bundles so you can get everything you need. You don't even really need to think about it. Just choose from one of their 4 mattresses, then pick your bundle. So whether you want just the mattress and the frame, or you want it all, like their amazing cooling pillows and sheets, you can always get the best bang for your buck.
yeah.
Right now, Ghost Bed is offering 40% off Ghost Bed bundles where you get a mattress and adjustable base, or get 30% off your entire order when you use the promo code DrinkinBros at ghostbed.com/drinkinbros.
Yeah.
You can buy a mattress for around $35 per month, and they have no money down, 0% financing plans for up to 60 months.
Oh.
Go check it out at ghostbed.com/drinkinbros. Ghost Bed. Sleep so good, it's scary. And next up, we have Simply Safe, which Simply Safe is a good option if you're trying to protect your home from crazy witches that are haunting your family.
Yeah. They do have a sensor for the paranormal.
They do. Yeah, there's a paranormal sensor included now.
It's only 69 more cents to add that.
So here's a question. Is anything more precious than the safety of you and your loved ones from the supernatural? Of course not. If you want to protect your family from Bell witches or Blair witches or
actual living, breathing thieves.
Well, that too, but that's not nearly as scary. But anyway, yeah, they'll do the same thing. Old school home security companies set you up with outdated technology, overcharge you for service, and lock you into binding multi-year contracts. And that's why we here at the Iconoblast podcast use Simply Safe Home Security to protect us not only from physical threats, but from paranormal threats as well.
Goddamn right. And it's important, especially during, October and Halloween and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the worst time of year to get attacked by a witch.
Dude, you know what's worse than a fucking, like a ghost or a paranormal entity? A fucking homeless one banging on your door at 4 in the morning.
Okay, I was going to say just being entirely alone.
Well, that's depressing, Coop. But yeah, there's been some fucking homeless zombies. There's been some homeless ghosts, witches, and a couple ghosts. Or a couple homeless Michael Myers fucking with me in my apartment complex.
Wearing the face of William Shatner. Seems like it's getting worse. I've only had one crazy random homeless person come by and cause trouble at my apartment within the last 2 months.
No, it's depending, it's necessary to have that. Have a Simply Safe system if you live where I live.
I feel perfectly comfortable because of Simply Safe. Simply Safe protects you with cutting-edge security technology powered by 24/7 professional monitoring agents who always have your back. Customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at simplysafe.com/icon. Go today and claim an indoor security system plus 20% off with interactive monitoring. Go to simplysafe.com/icon because there's no safe like Simply Safe.
Yeah.
They'll even come by and give you some nice blessed circles of salt, which obviously anybody who knows anything about the paranormal will know that that's a necessity.
Well, it also, you can talk to it, right?
The Circle of Salt.
Simply safe. Like you could be like, perform this ritual.
Oh yeah, you have to draw the right symbol on the ground. You have to
Oh,
perform
and then the
right-
Simply Safe camera sees it and then performs a ritual for you.
Yeah, it's similar to those QR codes, except it's supernatural.
That's hot.
So it was around this time that the Bell family began to hear the disembodied voice of the being that was terrorizing them. It claimed to be the spirit of a long-dead witch named Old Kate Batts, which I know an old witch with that name, and continued to answer the name Kate for the remainder of the haunting. Old Kate explained that she didn't approve of Betsy getting engaged to a local man named Joshua Gardner, and she intended on making their lives miserable until the engagement was broken off.
Right.
So the witch threatened to kill the father of the family if Betsy didn't break off her engagement with this Joshua Gardner guy.
What's wrong with Joshua?
I have no idea. But at the same time, the witch is being super nice to the mom of the family. The witch is being really, really nice to Lucy and bringing her fruit and singing hymns to her and things like that.
You're fucking the daughter up.
But fucking the daughter and the dad, most of the other people in the family had very few repercussions to this entire haunting. But the dad and the daughter Betsy were getting fucked with all the time and threatened. So with the attacks and threats getting worse, the Bells turned to a family friend named James Johnston for help. Johnson stayed with the Bells for a few days, experiencing...
Johnson or Johnston?
Johnston.
Johnston. That's a powerful name.
It's a very powerful name.
I like that. If you took my grandpa's name, you mix those two. Johnston Bancroft.
Johnston Bancroft. Holy
That's
shit.
fucking powerful. I don't know why my grandpa's... Well, it's another badass name I know.
Yeah, that's like the type of name that you would hear in something like
That's like
the Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah, like we should get LJ. I'll hit up LJ and be like, dude, I got a name for your next book.
Dude,
Johnston Bancroft.
Johnston Bancroft.
Yeah, he's fucking tough, that's for sure. All right, so they got a tough guy coming in.
That is a fucking lead character name right there. So, fuck James Johnston. His name's Johnston Bancroft.
Yeah. Well, hey, my grandpa's name is tough on its own. His name is Bancroft Benner.
Bancroft Benner?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a guy that for sure hunts Sasquatch.
I'm sure he probably did. He's in his 90s now, so when he was young, they still existed, I think.
Well, how long ago was that?
He is German too.
Oh, he's wiped out a few different
races.
Anyway,
Animals.
Johnson stayed with the Bells for a few days,
Drake.
experiencing many of the same phenomena the family had. Johnson began having conversations with the witch, asking it who it was and what it wanted. The entity responded, quote, "I am a spirit. I was once very happy, but have been disturbed." Hey, you know what? You and me both.
If it's the mom, how is she getting away with it without them knowing? Continue.
Female privilege. James Johnson
Didn't
his son,
exist yet.
No, it didn't back then, for damn sure. So James and his son John began devising tests for the witch, hoping to prove that it was an elaborate hoax of some sort. They asked the witch about things occurring around the area, which the entity seemed to know a surprising amount about. At one point, the witch was able to recite 2 sermons given 13 miles apart, word for word.
What the hell?
So, allegedly, it was able to know a lot of things that were going on in different parts of the area, like that right there. 2 sermons given 13 miles apart. It was able to recite both of them word for word in the amount of time that would make them believe that there was no way that it could get to either one of those sermons.
Because they were still on snail mail back then.
Oh, fuck. Even worse than that, they just had to send one of their least favorite kids on a donkey, like, out to see what was going on. Pray
And
to
probably
God that
never
they came
coming
back.
Yeah.
The witch also knew gossip about other households, occasionally seeming to briefly leave and return with more information. When John and James questioned the entity about their own family, they were finally convinced the events weren't a hoax. James asked the witch what his step-grandmother in North Carolina would say to their slaves when they did something wrong. The witch replied in his grandmother's voice, saying, quote, "Hut tut, what has happened now?"
The fuck?
Which I'm sure that's a lot more friendly than the way that she would actually say it. But I don't know how to do the accent of
No, that was pretty accurate.
yeah,
From what I know.
hut tut, what
tut.
has happened now?
Drink.
Yeah, I probably
Just
should
because
for
it's
that
an inappropriate accent that you did. That was like really racist the way you did
one.
the
I know
accent.
that was. I just can't help it.
Hut,
Oh, hut tut. What has happened now?
Drink.
Drink twice. Word of the haunting had spread across the area, drawing many skeptics to come and debunk the claims. An unnamed English visitor had a conversation with the witch, remarking that the rest of his family was overseas. In response, the entity began to speak to him in his mother and father's voices.
All right, chat, what's this from? The Painted Man.
The witch.
Coop, do you know what it's from?
No clue.
Okay. I'm not going to answer.
The Painted Man and the Witch.
It's two different people saying it. They meet. The Painted Man and the Witch meet for the first time. And the witch goes, "The Painted Man." And then
wait, that
And then the
sounds
Painted
familiar.
Man goes, "The Witch."
Oh, wait, no.
And
no,
one
I
of
got
them
this.
and one of them kills the other one.
One more hint.
I can play.
Small hint.
A small hint. I could maybe. Fuck.
Wait, it's got to be from...
It's a movie.
Yeah, it's definitely from a movie. Is it...
The theme music goes.
Wait, Antonio Banderas or
No.
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No,
Neither?
neither.
Oh, shit.
Another line is, "This is English courage."
Robin Hood?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that was vague enough. I was going to say, "I'm going to cut your heart out with a spoon." But I thought that would be too obvious.
Oh, that for me, that would have been
Why is spoon,
way
cousin?
less obvious.
Because it's dull, you twit. It'll hurt more. Rest in peace, Professor Snape.
I think I would have guessed it sooner if it was a Robin Hood Men in Tights quote. Because I've seen that movie way more often.
But that quote's not in Robin Hood Men in Tights.
No, it's not, but I would have... if you would have followed that up with a Robin Hood Men in Tights quote, then I would have been able to guess it a lot faster.
Dude, when Morgan Freeman kills the witch, it's so badass. I watched that 1,000 times on repeat on VHS when I was a kid because he kicks in the door and she's about to like kill Robin Hood or something, and he throws his fucking sweet scimitar, and dude,
That might have been a falchion.
whatever it is, it's like it's Aladdin's fucking sword.
Yeah.
And he fucking chucks it, and they sound design it like it's the biggest thing flying through the air. So, and when it hits her, it's like getting hit with a shotgun.
Doesn't it stick her
She
to the
flies-
wall?
No, but she just flies across the room back the opposite way she was running. And another light just turned on.
Wait, it did?
Yeah. Now there's 3. And it was 2 before.
Okay, now this is getting a little spooky.
Except it's getting brighter in here, which is safer.
Allegedly. Or it's just bad electrical wiring.
Do you remember the scene in Robin Hood when what's his friend's name? What's Morgan Freeman's character name in that? Azim.
Achoo.
Achoo. Drink. His name's Azim. And Azim has a fucking telescope, right?
Yeah.
But it's fucking cool. It's like 3 lenses, and he wraps it in leather, and it turns into a telescope. And then he's like looking, and he's like, "Oh, there's 6 of them coming," and he passes the telescope. Or what'd you call it? It was like a single binocular.
Looking glass.
Yeah. And then when Robin Hood, played by Kevin Costner, he looks in it, he freaks out and pulls out his sword because he thinks that the guys on horseback are closer than they are. And it's funny. Do you remember that?
I remember that part. I remember Robin Hood Men in Tights so much better, though.
They're both great films.
They are.
Both Academy Award worthy.
Both equally historically accurate. Mm-hmm. So word of the haunting had spread across the area, drawing many skeptics who came to debunk the claims. An unnamed English visitor had a conversation with the witch, remarking that the rest of his family was overseas, and in response, the entity began to speak to him in his mother and father's voices. Upon returning home to England, the man wrote to the Bells to inform them that the witch had visited his parents on the same day it was mimicking their voices.
Mimicking its movements from its cage.
The man apologized for ever doubting their claims.
Shit.
In 1821, after nearly 5 years of terrorizing the Bell family.
Why did they fucking move?
Dude, how...
I thought it was... Is it easier? Isn't it? It's fucking harder now than it was then.
No, it's easier now than it was then.
No, because now there's like leases and money, and you need all this shit. Back then, you could just like, all right, we're gonna walk over here and then build a new log cabin.
Well, you still have to get the land from the people that own the land, or
no one owned the land yet.
Or you need to go into some. You need to. This was the like early 1800s. You would need to go to somewhere where nobody owns the land.
And fight some fucking natives.
And you're going to have to be fighting natives. You're going to have to travel very far to sell anything worth any sort of money, unless you're making everything at home.
You don't need money back then. You're living off the fucking mushrooms in the forest.
Well, you can, but you still need tools and shit like that. Like
They have all that stuff.
You need access to a blacksmith. Where are you going to get money to pay a blacksmith?
They are. One of his kids is a blacksmith, probably.
Are they?
Yes, back then everyone had to have skills. It's not like now.
No, everyone had to have skills, but you also needed to have marketable skills unless you were able to completely supply everything for yourself. And that includes tools.
They were living in the forest eating mushrooms because they didn't have the skills to make real food. Okay, I understand your point.
So in 1821, after nearly 5 years of terrorizing the Bell family, the witch finally followed through with one of its earlier threats. I should say one of her earlier threats.
Killed Daddy?
Betsy Bell had continued to refuse to break off her relationship with Gardner, leading the witch to increase the physical attacks on her. When that failed to end her relationship with Gardner, the Bell Witch set her sights on John Bell. He was found dead in his home from an unidentified poisoning.
Oh, shit.
But
who gets thrown in the fire?
John Bell.
Does someone get thrown in a fire?
I mean, the witch would have if she had a physical body, but she didn't have a physical body.
The thumbnail I made, I just searched the Bell Witch, and it looks like it's somebody in a nightgown throwing some sort of shape of a body into a fire.
Yeah, I mean that's close enough considering the overall veracity of the story. So yeah, that doesn't matter. No, there was no witch that was actually burned.
Okay.
Because there was no witch. I hate to break it to everybody, but this is all a fucking made up story. During John Bell's funeral, the witch continued to torment the family by loudly singing offensive drinking songs. I wish this was a true story.
What are the drinking songs?
I wish I knew.
Aquatic Cloaca could sing them.
Apparently for Betsy, the death of her father was the last straw. she finally broke off her engagement to Joshua Gardner. Satisfied that her demand had been met, the entity told the family that her work was done. And with that, the Bell Witch disappeared. For 8 years, and then she came back and tried to haunt the family again for a matter of months, and the family didn't give a shit, so she just left again. That's actually how it went.
What the hell? Wait, what's going on here?
So what's going on is Lucy Bell was trying to get her way within the family. She didn't want Betsy Bell to have a relationship with Joshua Gardner because that wasn't beneficial to her, or she was jealous. So she made sure that Joshua Gardner wasn't able to marry Betsy Bell. And then she just wanted her fucking husband dead.
Yeah.
So Lucy Bell
Killed her husband.
Faked all this shit from the beginning. She's the one person in the family that was treated well, aside from one of the sons. But the one son that actually got anything good from the Bell Witch was the one that got sent on a wild goose chase for treasure in some Native American burial ground that never existed. Lucy Bell hoaxed the whole thing.
Dude, she was crazy. She must have been fucked up.
She was an absolute fucking lunatic. I have literally no evidence for this outside of just the high points of the story.
It seems like that right out the gate, though.
If you follow the high points of the story, Lucy Bell's the only one that gets treated well. Betsy Bell has a promising betrothal to
if that's what
Joshua
you want,
Gardner.
If you want to put the blame on her, maybe it was the daughter the whole time.
Betsy?
Yeah. So she would cut herself and made up this whole story because she wanted her dad dead, but wanted to put it on. So if it ever got back to it, it would look like it was the mom.
I don't think anybody's blaming the mom but me, though.
It was the first thing I thought of.
Okay, so...
Like, if you try to look at it in a realistic way, I was like, either they're all eating mushrooms, and then as soon as you were explaining the story first, my instinct was like, the mom's hunting them to get something, and I didn't even know what it was yet. And then it's the fucking kid, or it's the daughter marrying the wrong guy.
So the mom would benefit from...
But maybe the dad was a cunt. We don't know, right? Maybe
he most likely was.
Maybe she was trying to save her kids in some weird, fucked up way. Like, she knew he was superstitious. So she was like, and he was abusive, and maybe he was a little rapey or something. Who knows? I'm just trying to look at it like maybe there was a good reason. I mean, most likely maybe, or usually somebody does something like this because they have to. And nowadays you can't make a spirit attack anyone because no one will believe that shit. But back then, they would. You know?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people in fucked up situations and families where you have an abusive husband and no one's going to fucking believe you if you just say it.
So John Bell was a piece of shit.
Possibly.
Betsy Bell was... No, I'm going to say this definitively. John Bell was a piece of shit. Betsy Bell was about to hook up with Joshua Gardner, and Joshua Gardner was somebody that Lucy Bell was in love with. Or hang on.
Or Lucy wanted to fuck his dad.
No, Joshua Gardner was a piece of shit also.
And was fucking them all.
And Lucy Bell didn't want Betsy to end up with Joshua Gardner. She wanted to get Betsy away from both her father, John, and she wanted to get Betsy away from Joshua Gardner, who was another piece of shit.
She wanted what's best for her daughter, so she killed them all.
This whole hoax, literally killed her husband just to, well, actually not just to get her away from John Bell.
Yeah.
She killed her husband, which influenced Betsy breaking off her engagement.
I can't believe she was cutting her kids up, though. That's fucked up.
She was, yeah, that's, all right. That's the part of the story that's
makes her a little crazy.
Little crazy. Well, I mean, I think.
But how is it
even if the theory that I'm putting forth is true, that still makes her fucking insane.
Well, I think using spooky stories to get what you want back in the day was probably fucking normal. You know?
Oh, that's
nowadays what people do is
for the last 10,000 years.
Well, what they do nowadays is they'll send you a mean text, and then you reply something mean, and then they delete their text and then screenshot it and send it to someone else and say, "Look how horrible this person is to me."
What the fuck?
That's what that's the new version of ghosts.
I find that a lot scarier.
Yeah, because people are fucked up.
Well, that is the scariest thing that I will hear for this entire spooky season.
Yeah, so be careful about those screenshots you get from your crazy friend, because they're probably not true.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for this episode of the Iconoblast podcast. Unless you have anything else you want to talk about, Joel?
No, except for go to shop.drinkingbros.com and search Iconoblast and buy our shit.
Get all our good new merch.
Yeah, we're going to have stickers and stuff soon.
And until then, my name is Matt Cooper.
I'm Joel Benner. Oh, and also follow us on Instagram and leave reviews on our podcast platforms, whatever one you're on. Give us a 5-star.
At Iconoblast Podcast, at Coop Nukem, at Joel R. Benner.
Yeah, y'all are slacking on the Apple Podcast comments. There hasn't been a good, funny one in a while. So get on it. Okay, bye.
And until then, my name's Matt Cooper, that's Joel Benner, and we're reminding you to never take anything at face value.
Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, I'm gonna come.
He slipped it in her butt.